In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I 6x my salary in just 6 weeks, simply by regaining my confidence. Without working harder, without burnout, and without selling my soul or playing the office politics game. Now, grinding your way up the ladder, proving yourself over and over again, hoping someone finally notices, is the perfect way to lose it all. The only way to move forward in the professional environment sustainably is to become undeniable, to radiate such grounded confidence and self-worth that opportunities, respect, and promotions find you without you forcing anything. So in this video, I'll walk you through the 4-step formula I used to go from burning out and being constantly overlooked to renegotiating my salary 3 times in one day, to run businesses and travel around the world without even changing companies, but by embodying the change myself. Now, I want to be really clear. This isn't for everyone. If you're looking for a quick fix, a surface level confidence hack, or you're not willing to look at what's going on beneath the surface, then this isn't for you. But if you're a high achieving woman in business or corporate, you've done the personal development work, but something still feels off. Like no matter how much you push or perform, you're still not fully seen, respected, and rewarded for who you really are, then this is exactly for you. Not too long ago, I was exactly where you might be right now. I was doing everything right, going above and beyond, constantly chasing promotions, trying to prove I was capable, worthy, and ready for more. But no matter how hard I worked, I still felt invisible, overlooked, like I had to keep giving more just to stay in the same place. And the worst part, I'd started to believe that voice in my head that said, maybe this is just how it is. Eventually, I burned out, physically, emotionally, and energetically. I had absolutely nothing left to give. In fact, I was working so hard that this affected my relationship and I ended up a single mum. Then something shifted. I was introduced to subconscious belief work, and for the first time, I realized it wasn't my effort holding me back. It was what I believed about myself deep down. That was the moment that changed everything. I discovered that 95% of our thoughts, behaviors, and emotional responses are driven by the subconscious. And unless you shift the identity you're operating from, nothing changes long term. And once I started doing that, everything changed fast. I reprogrammed the deep beliefs that were keeping me small. I owned my worth, and out of nowhere, I received a call about a promotion. I negotiated 3 times in one day and tripled their offer, ending up with 6x more than I was on just 6 weeks before. Now, I didn't hustle and I didn't play politics. I aligned. And from that moment on, I decided to dedicate my life to help women become confident and successful using my soul method. So let's dive into the 4 steps you need in order to replace the limiting beliefs that are holding you back with empowering beliefs that are going to help you attract success and live in flow. So let's dive in. Step 1 of the soul method is to see it. Now, as I mentioned before, 95% of our programming is in the subconscious mind. So in order to change that, we need to see what is running in the background. Now, there's a really powerful technique we can use, and no one ever teaches us, called the self-reflective universe technique. The universe we live in reflects back whatever we believe to be true, not consciously, but subconsciously. So life is like a mirror for our beliefs. So if you observe what is going on around you and how that makes you feel, you can then identify the programs you have running in your subconscious mind. So let's do an example. Let's use career as an example. So you're working really hard and you're going for a promotion, but you keep being turned down. You feel invisible, as if no one sees your value or your worth. So ask yourself, if life was a mirror, then what is it I believe about myself that is reflecting back to me? Do I know I am valuable? Am I worthy of the promotion? Or am I expecting someone else to see my worth even when I don't? You see, if life is a direct reflection of our beliefs, thoughts, and behaviours, you can now see how important it is to align our inner world so that our outer world becomes the reflection that we want. Now, you can do this any time of the day. If something comes up during the day that you don't like or that doesn't feel good, write it down. And then in the evening, go back and reflect on that scenario and ask yourself the question, if life was a mirror, then what is it I believe about myself that is reflecting back to me? Reflect on that, write it down. Now, I suggest you don't do this with a phone or a computer because the brain can come up with so many more answers when we're writing with a pen and paper, specifically blue pen. Now, once you see the program that is running, you have the ability to change that. Until then, you are running unconscious and your subconscious is running the show. Now, the secret to all my growth has started with the self-reflective universe technique, because what else could we ask for than to have a mirror mirroring back where we need to grow? Now, on to step 2, which is own it. Now, seeing the belief isn't enough. We have to take radical responsibility, not from shame or blame, but from loving ownership. So once you see the belief that is running, you can ask yourself, what is the story I am telling myself? If we use the example as before, that I am not worthy of more than what I have now, whose voice can you hear saying this? Now, our subconscious mind absorbs everything up to the age of 7. So it could be a parent figure that was saying, stop being greedy, stop asking for more, and you made it mean I am not worthy of more. So note down the story and where that may have came from. You might not know, and that's fine. The most important thing is you understand the story that is running. Now, here's the truth. You created this belief, and if you created it, you can uncreate it. Your power comes when you stop outsourcing it and instead say, I take full ownership of this and I'm going to change it. No one else has the ability to change your reflection, only you. Now on to step 3, which is unblock it. So now that we've identified the belief and the story, we're now going to change it. Now this is the part that most people never get to. They either can't find the belief or they find the belief and they find it too hard. But this is a game changer. If you don't change the belief, then the program still runs and you're unconscious to it and therefore in a vicious circle. So if the old belief was, I'm not worthy of the promotion or that level of money, ask yourself, what do I want to believe instead? Maybe it sounds like, I define my worth and I trust in my ability to create a meaningful life. Oof. Imagine what shifts in your life if that becomes your new truth. Now, how do we change this in our subconscious mind? Now, there are various techniques we can use, such as standing in the mirror and saying the affirmation over and over again, or journaling through repetition, or even recording your voice and listening to it before you go to sleep at night when your brain is in an alpha wave state. But there is a more powerful and faster way, and that is with Psych-K. And here's how it works. We muscle test to communicate with the subconscious mind. We go into a whole brain state to allow for the change. We replace the belief in the subconscious mind, and then we muscle test to confirm that it's completed. Now, does that sound too good to be true? I thought so too until I tried it and the results were instant. Now, if this is something that interests you and you're looking to move faster, then book a call using the link below and we can talk it through. So now this belief has been changed and this is your new truth. Ask yourself, What aligned action am I now going to take in my life? Maybe it's booking that meeting with your boss. Maybe it's finally putting yourself out there. You decide, because now you're leading. Just like one of my clients, Jackie, she was feeling stuck in her career. She kept being questioned by her bosses. Now, she used this method and did the inner work. And her action was to reach out to somebody she used to work with. And now she stepped into a new role, feeling confident, helping other people and living in flow. Now she knows she can create what she wants by doing the inner work, and she does so consistently. And now on to step 4, which is live it. This is where we bring it all together. Now, there's a question that most people never ask themselves. What is it I actually want? You get to decide, define it, write it down, be specific. What's the role? What's the salary? How does it feel? And most importantly, who are you being now that you've had it? How are you walking into rooms? What are you saying? How are you showing up during your day? Now, we activate this new identity through embodiment practices. And no, this isn't for people who aren't willing to do the work. Because living it means daily consistency. It means showing up in alignment even when no one's watching. But once you get it, you will never go back. Now, you can do your own embodiment practices by visualizing yourself as that person for at least 15 minutes every day, really feeling into that vision. Or we do have some really good embodiment activations in our program for people that struggle with this part of it and they really like the structure they provide. Consistency and focusing on the feeling is key. You will start spotting beliefs that are holding you back, but you'll now have the tools to change them over and over again. So this is the path that takes you from hustling and proving to align, attract and receive. No more forcing, just flow. Now, yes, you can try to use this process on your own with the methods I described, but here's the truth. You can't see your own subconscious blind spots, which is why I created the Become Unstoppable one-to-one program to walk you through this process powerfully and personally. Now, if this resonated with you and you're done settling, then I invite you to book a free discovery call. There's no obligation, just a chance to explore whether the soul method is the missing piece that could finally unlock the version of you you know was always there.